What happens when you plant potatoes in a terrace and you just forget about them? You don't hill them, you don't really water them, you just plant them and let them go. Kind of noisy here, sorry guys, but I'm gonna find out. So I've got this kind of silly little apron thing, and I'm gonna start stuffing potatoes. There's a bunch of different varieties here. We've got Norland red potatoes, white warbas, and the classic Yukon golds. So I've got my little roux apron here, which looks kind of silly, but it's actually really helpful if you're harvesting a lot of heavy crops. And we are gonna come through and just see what happens. I didn't hill them, didn't fertilize them, didn't do anything, just buried them in the ground and waited. That's it. All right, everyone. Just lug these potatoes, some of these soil amendments. We're gonna fix this bed up right here. So I'm planting these lower two terraces right now with some of my remaining potatoes. So you've got this one here, that one there. They're a little heavy in clay. As you can see, they're a little bit overtaken by not necessarily weeds. There's some nasturtium there. Some of these are edible, but regardless, they're still coming out of this particular terrace. You know, there's plenty of space over here to be growing a lot of those things. So follow me along as I do this. We're just gonna add some soil amendments. We're gonna dig the potatoes in, water them in. Hopefully we're gonna have a good harvest. So you can see there's nasturtiums here, there's some sour grass, some other actual edible plants, but if we come in here and just take a little sample of this soil, it's definitely pretty fine grained, a little bit heavy in clay if this were to get wet. And potatoes are gonna want a bit more sandy soil. So I've got some amendments on hand, hopefully it's enough. I'm gonna try to de-weed, de-rock this bed, and then add my amendments. Soil is amended, hopefully well enough. And what I think I'm gonna do is plant like this. I'll take a couple of these potatoes out. I'm gonna come in like this, like that, like this, and just go down the line. Now, what I realized in using a microbial inoculant, so let's say I'm coming in and digging this potato in right here, plant it right about, let's say there, right? Instead of sprinkling a microbial inoculant down at the bottom, I mean, I can definitely do a little bit down there, but the roots of the potato are coming out of the eye here. And so what I'm gonna do actually is we're gonna plant this potato just like this, get it maybe a little bit lower. I'm gonna fill it in just a little bit. I'm gonna sprinkle the rest of the microbial inoculant on top. And then I'm gonna cover it up. And we're good to go. So I think that's gonna be better because it's forming a mycorrhizal relationship with the roots, and the roots are coming out of the eye of the potato. So to me, it makes more sense to concentrate the inoculant in this area. As you can see, I've kind of laid the potatoes out just so you can get a sense of how I'm gonna plant them. The terrace thins out a bit over there, so I just went one per section, but we're gonna dig these in. I'm really hoping that the soil quality has improved enough. You know, but worst comes to worst, we'll probably get some new potatoes out of this, but I'm really hoping we get some kind of solid yield.
3 months later.
So I'm already noticing here, you've got potatoes that have hilled themselves up out of the soil, which is not necessarily good because sun exposure for potatoes causes them to green, and their solanine content's pretty high, which means you wouldn't want to eat them, but these have been covered by the actual foliage pretty well, I'd say. I'm still gonna harvest them. We're gonna do an analysis and see if we can actually eat them, but let's go ahead and start cracking. Okay, so here's plant number one. A lot of foliage here. And a boatload of potatoes, guys. Are you serious right now? This is actually a crazy amount of potatoes off of one plant. And these are Norland Reds. And I actually saved these little guys too. I saved these little tinies. I call them taties because I think that they're very delicious. And I like to do bougie fancy recipes with them. So what I'm gonna do is dig around and I'm gonna leave them all. Look at this, are you serious right now? Look at this, dude, look at that. I've never seen a Norland Red get that big, that's insane. So we've got, and I don't need to dig down too much because again, I didn't bury it that deep. Oh my God. I'm freaking, I didn't almost said a bad word. I'm stoked, guys. I'm stoked. Okay, let's leave these here. That's about all the ones we're gonna get. Is that a potato or a rock? That's a rock. We'll leave these here right now. And we'll move on to the next one. And then the foliage I'm all gonna collect up. Oh, here's a crappier one. Let's take a look. That's just a weed. We'll take a look at the end and we'll see exactly how we did. All right, what do we have here? Another red potato batch. These reds have been incredibly productive over here. And they're the short, see look, you can see the rotten seed potato that it's growing out of. Tons of tuber growth. We'll save the little taties. I'm really impressed. I am really impressed with the yield here. Really impressed. We'll leave this down. Oh, there you go. Got one more. This is insane. No hilling, no fertilizer. Set it and forget it. Easy potatoes. Another red one right here. I think you can see. Woo, baby. Living the freaking dream right now. This is insane. Okay, let's keep going. Dig on down. This was relatively unimproved soil as well, guys. Hopefully we get to some non-reds varieties. Looks like these are all red varieties so far. Look at that. What does nature have for us? I guess I planted way more red potatoes than I thought, but honestly, first of all, they're beautiful and they kind of look like river rocks. They look like red river rocks, which I'm, again, stoked about. And the size is freaking me out. And there's just so many per plant. I mean, I'm sorry guys, I'm just losing it over here. Just losing it in potato glory. And I really do encourage you guys, maybe not these really tiny ones, but I would encourage you to save what I'm calling the taties, these smaller guys, because there's some cool dishes you can make with them that just look cool on the plate, and it's kind of like just a different perspective of tasting a potato at that size. I really find it to be delicious. So another good harvest out of this. Again, here's the seed potato, and you can see it's usually a little bit mushier and it's not as vibrant, and clearly most of the growth is coming out of it. So that's the one you can just throw away. Down the line to this guy right here. This was a fail. I don't even know. Was this a Yukon? I think this was a Yukon. Let's go ahead and dig down though. Well, not a total fail. We've got one. Nope, we got a decent one here. Oh no, that's the seed potato. I think that's it for that one. Okay, not a big deal. We're just gonna consolidate those into this pile. Coming in here. I guess I planted way more reds than I thought. Because there's another red crop. One of them always is massive. Some of these got some holes in them. You can see right there. Not sure what hit that, but that's probably one of the downsides of planting it and not hilling it, is you're gonna get some pest access on the surface. But for this yield and this level of effort, I'm willing to take that trade-off all day long, baby. Because I didn't do anything. This is just the most easy method I've ever seen for growing. Another one. I guarantee I've left some in the soil too. There's no way I haven't. Oh, I actually just did. There's another right there. I know there's tools you can use to do this, but I kind of like getting down here with my hands and excavating. It's kind of a fun process. Okay, gonna go in over here. I'm losing my mind over here, guys. It's so fun digging up. Oh, look at this. Get out of there. Are you kidding me? That's a Norland red potato that shouldn't even be that big. They shouldn't even be that big. So, needless to say, I'm pretty stoked about this harvest, and I'm gonna walk you through. There's probably still some more down in the soil, which I'm gonna take a time, turn the camera off and dig up, but I just wanna show you everything really quickly. We've got mostly red potatoes, as I guess that is what I planted, although I guess I forgot about that. So as I walk you down, honestly, 1 or 2, maybe even 3 large ones per plant, which is quite good already. I mean, look at this. This is one plant. That's an insane harvest for one plant, you know. And so needless to say, very happy about this. I'm gonna collect them all. We'll see exactly how many we got. We'll throw some mulch on the top of this terrace, and really just a beautiful example, I'm gonna show you really quickly, of using the space you have in the garden. Because this is a pretty sloped terrace here that we put in these sidings here, these flashings. It's a great way to prevent erosion. We had actually a lot of rain this year in San Diego. And look, potatoes don't really do a lot of showing at the top of their growth. They're growing underground. And so actually as a foliage ornamental, they're not the most striking and beautiful thing of all time, but they certainly do look ornamental. And you just saw what I pulled out of this bed. So it's really crazy how you can both use this space in a beautiful way and get production out of it in very, very, very urban space. There's planes flying, there's a transit center over here. I mean, it's an extremely, extremely ornamental or urban space.